Oh, 56 hard in the wall. Looks like we're going to stay green. Oh,
they got to spin.
95 around, 33 hard into the inside wall.
Oh, they're wrecking up front. 93, Ricky Johnson's around, collects a 30, the 59, the 30, I already said the 30. Oh,
They're still wrecking.
Oh my God, the 22 of Jason San Diego, damn it. Oh my word.
Turn 3 and 4.
Side, they fly for turn 3 and 4.
That's 66 now. Oh, they're 3 wide.
Oh, Joe, who's
3.
there?
I don't know. They're 3 wide through the tri-oval. Give it to Feld there at the yellow flag. For the lead, the 77 goes to the inside, doesn't have the run there. Goes back outside, he's going to try to have the momentum through turns 3 and 4. Peaks to the inside, it's going to be a drag race down the front straightaways. Callum rolls around.
It's going to be at the line, it's so close. Murslack wins it.
Don't think. Oh, he got really close. He's going to look to the inside. Oh, they make contact. Oh my God, Joseph Weaver. Live from the Richmond Raceway in beautiful Richmond, Virginia. It's JTN presenting to you tonight the HOBO Racing League Cup Series from Richmond. Richmond. I'm Joe Twansky, as always, and alongside me this evening, Mr. Tommy Bordeaux. Welcome to the booth, Tommy.
Thanks, Joe. It's good to be back. It's been a while for myself to be back in the GTN booth, and I'm excited tonight. Looks like we got a big field here for the HOBO Racing League out of Richmond, indeed.
Yeah, Tommy, we're going to have a great time tonight here at Richmond. It's going to be a great time for all those fans at home. Make sure, if you haven't already, you're hitting like on the video. Blow that chat box up with all the comments. We love to get the interaction here with the HOBO Racing League and all their loyal fans. And Tommy, they get to see something a little different. Last time we were at Daytona, the time before that with the Cup Series, we were at Michigan, but tonight we're at this short track here at Richmond. It's a different challenge for these drivers for sure.
That's right, mixing it up a little bit, Joe. Richmond's a track that we've seen a few times here on JTN. It's always delivered great racing action, and for all these drivers here in the HOBO Racing League, certainly a different change of pace compared to those big 2+ mile tracks that we've seen earlier on JTN. Qualifying has just begun here from Richmond, Virginia, Joe. After qualifying, we will have that starting lineup during our happy hour time.
Yeah, and Tommy, it's going to be, these drivers, they're going to go all out for these 2 laps, try to put the best time down because it is hard to pass here at Richmond. Tires are going to fall off throughout the night, making it even harder to pass, but it's a one-groove racetrack here at this version of Richmond. We've seen guys kind of running that middle groove throughout practice and you'll see it throughout happy hour. But Richmond, it's an interesting challenge because unlike a lot of short tracks, the groove doesn't always work just around that yellow line at the bottom of the track.
Yeah, depending on how the banking is set up on these tracks and where the rubber gets laid down, the preferred line may not be the shortest way around, and tonight that might just be the case. Although, like you mentioned, Joe, with track position at a premium, qualifying going to be so important to start your way at the front so you don't have to pass a bunch of cars and take a lot of time. 140 laps here tonight, so there is a lot of time, but especially when we get near the end of this one, with around 21 to 22 second laps by the end of a run, it's going to be a short race when it gets down to those final few laps.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one, though. Tonight, see Barbara, Average Joe Adventure, MT Johnson tuning in. Welcome to the broadcast tonight, folks. So happy you're joining us. And we're gonna put on a show for you here. Do our part up in the commentary booth, Tommy. I know you were those last couple minutes in that production meeting right before we went live. You were a little nervous. You got to knock the rust off tonight.
Yeah, it's been a while for myself, Joe. We've at least in the Tommy Bordeaux camp taken a few weeks off to do a whole bunch of sim racing myself. But it's good to be back in the JTN booth here on a Tuesday night, and once again joining you here at Richmond Raceway. Should be a lot of fun tonight. Glad to have everyone in the chat there. Keep it live all night long. We'll have a good one, Joe.
Yeah, it's going to be the best one. 140 laps, short track racing action. That's going to be put these guys in a 1 to 2 stop window, Tommy. It's going to depend on how much you want those tires and where the cautions fall tonight. Again, so happy you're joining us. Make sure if you haven't already, you hit the like button. It is early to say if you do end up liking this video overall, but I have a feeling you will, because we here at JTN love to provide you, the fans, with the best content we can. If you're running in our 2003 league and you want to get a broadcast, make sure you check out our Facebook page. Send us a message over there and contact us about available dates and pricing. Also, check out some of our sponsors, JoeTow Designs, where you can get all your cool racing merch. New sprint car, non-wing sprint car, hammered down shirt went up a couple days ago. We got some new NASCAR-related stock car racing shirts. You can also check out the JTN store for new JTN merch that just dropped. You know, we took those 2 weeks off now. It's been 2 weeks since we had our last live broadcast, and took those 2 weeks off, Tommy, and we really upped the ante with the JTN merch. But we got a big field tonight, so I'm going to give you as much time as possible. Why don't you take the fans through the starting lineup?
All right, Joe. Well, thank you so much for passing it off here. Well, like we mentioned, a lot of cars on this field tonight for the HOBO Racing League. You love to see large car counts, especially at a short track. It's going to get real congested there. But the guy in clean air to start, it's going to be the 113 of Caleb Lingle on the pole with a time of 20.400 seconds. On his outside, the 28 car of Keith McLean. They make up the front row. In row 2, we have the 30 car of Jordan McGregor and the number 112 car. That is going to be, as I look at my sheet here of driver names,
Ray Dog.
Ray Dog. All right, well, back in row 3, starting 5th, the 22 car, the best name in the field, in my opinion, Jason San Diego, going to start from the top 5 here tonight, and Steve Grant to his outside. In row number 4, Ricky Johnson in the 93 car and Herman Reese in the 73 to his outside. Row 5 sees Maverick in the 23 car and running at the top 10 in qualifying, Wiley King in the 95. Starting outside of the top 10 here in 11th, the 40 car, that's Moran, with Mark DeSenza in the 33 car to his outside. Starting in 13th place, the 029 car of Kilojoule with the number 9 car, that's going to be Jeff Futage in the 9 car.
What did you,
starting behind them.
Wait. Jeff. What did you just call him?
Futage. I call him Futage. I think it's.
I don't know. Yeah, we struggle with the names here at HOBO. Continue on, Tommy.
I've been learning Japanese recently, Joe, so maybe I got some of that going on there. Well, hey, you've seen the Rubino brothers on here before in the 44 cars. Dan Rubino, he's going to be rolling off 15th. 16th, the 85 car. That's Bumble. We've seen him a number of times here on JTN, so good to have him in this race here tonight. The 31 car, Jeff, am I getting this right, Joe? Stakenis? Stakenis.
We got a lot of comments about that one, Ricky and I.
Jeff Stakenis and the 31 car. He's going to be starting 17th, Joe. We're almost halfway through this field, so we're doing good on time. Troy Donahue, he's to his outside there in the 81 car, running off 18th. Ron Simpson in the 25, he'll be 19th, and running out the top 20 in qualifying, Matt Stern in the 4 car. Hey, the other Rubino brother, that's Steve in the 21. He's going to be rolling off P21. And Harry Codian in the 13 car to his outside. Moving on now in the 14 car, Dion Hinsky from Florida. He'll be starting 23rd tonight with Ryan Johnson in the 78 to his outside. Going back a row, we have Brent Carter, Virginia's own here at Richmond. He's going to be rolling off P25 and to his outside, the 48 car of Austin LaPlante. Looking through the rest of the field here, Joe, our last couple qualifiers did not set a time in qualifying, but that doesn't mean they won't be competitive. It's the 59 of Duke Sorensen from Las Vegas out there, and to his outside, the 10 car of Randy Smith. And finally, our last row here, the 56 car of Rod Weston from Vermont, and Bob Gibson, 30th position, rounding up the field here tonight in the number 46 car. Well, Joe, that's a huge grid, I must say, and for a track like Richmond, it's going to look like the 405 at rush hour.
Well, it's 30 drivers out here on this track tonight. This track, what, 3/4 of a mile or so for 140 laps of great racing action. Remember, the caution flags will come out as per the game, because HOBO Racing, it's in the game here at Richmond, Virginia, the Richmond Raceway. No competition cautions, no stages, no nothing. It's unaltered racing action here tonight. It's going to be a fun one. Make sure you hit the like button, share the video with your friends, share the live stream with your friends. If you're watching after the fact, we'd love to hear the comments too. I know Steve is probably, if he's not watching this live, he's going to be watching this after. Dan, I saw him in the chat. The Roger Nebelsek is cheering on Bino, that being Dan, I believe. Dan is Bino. And it's gonna be Tommy, it's gonna be a fun night tonight. There you see that 44 car, and pit road's gonna be a little tricky for these drivers. You saw it there for a quick second, but coming to pit road, we saw it, 2 weeks ago, or this past weekend at Richmond. Kevin Harvick had trouble coming to pit road, hit that commitment line. Do you foresee that issue happening tonight?
Well, it's possible. I don't know if the commitment cone is going to be as big of an issue, but we might see some incidents coming to pit road as these guys are trying to make their stops. The pit road lead up to where you actually get onto pit lane itself is quite short here at Richmond, and more importantly, it's pretty much on the racing line where you've got a break to make a pit stop. So it's going to be pretty treacherous here when drivers are trying to make their green flag pit stops.
And that's, of course, assuming that we get to those green flag pit stops. Sometimes these guys get a little antsy and we don't get to them green flag pit stops. So hoping to see that today. We see LaPlante flying through your screen in his 48 car, looking like Jimmy Johnson from 2002. Not the flying through the air part, but the car itself. And so happy you're joining us. 140 laps. It's going to be great racing action. The cars are going to be getting put on the grid. Drivers being called to their cars now. Tommy, I'm so excited for these fans at home. They're about to see a wonderful show here from Richmond.
Yeah, it's good to be back here on JTN. Thank you very much to all of HOBO Racing for having us back in the booth to broadcast their race tonight. And thank you all for tuning in. It should be a good one indeed.
Good one indeed. I don't think I could have said it better myself. Well, Tommy, I don't want to say I could say it better, but it's going to be a great one tonight. It's going to be fantastic, amazing. Use all those words you can to
start your engine.
To get the command to start the engines. And I got a quick break from filling airtime. It's going to be the 113 of Lingle, and I believe that is, it's hard to see the numbers on that car on the outside. The 28 of Keith McLean on your front row here for the start of this race. Ray Dog on the outside and fourth with Jordan McGregor in the 30 car on the inside. And then rounding out your top five, Jason San Diego in that 22 car. A couple different names towards the front of this field, Tommy, to start this race.
Yeah, definitely, Joe. It's a good mix of parity here at Richmond. I mean, short track's a different kind of speedway than we have gone to before. But here they are, Joe. They're ready to go. The pace car lights are off, and we're soon to take the green flag. Why don't you take us there, Joe?
Oh, I will. Pace car makes the hard left turn down pit road. Lingle's going to lead him to the line. He gets into the restart zone, hits the gas. Green flag is out here at Richmond.
Underway, and we'll see how these cars can manage their way through the first couple turns, side by side, deep in the field, but up front, single file through the top three. Jason San Diego looking to the inside, trying to hold on to that top five spot. He will for now. But up front, Caleb Lingle's going to come around and lead the first lap.
Yeah, San Diego now with Ricky Johnson in that 93 to the inside, looking to make a move for that fifth position. Give Johnson the spot going down to turn one. And McGregor up to the second position.
Yeah, Jordan McGregor, who started in that top three, right now up to second place. He gets by Keith McLean, who, importantly to note, he started on the outside line. It looks like that outside line, maybe not the greatest place to be, but we'll have to see how that develops over the night, Joe. You might see drivers choose, if you're the leader, the inside or outside, test it out early in the race, and then for a late race restart, they know which one they want to be in.
I think we go throughout the field here, though, Tommy. I think that outside line is going to end up being have a decent shot at maybe making you up some positions towards the end, especially if you say stay out on old tires towards the end of this race. Single file throughout the field, though, right now it's just Weston to the inside of LaPlante here.
Yeah, so far, Joe, you mentioned single file, keeping it pretty clean here. Might be rare for a short track, but then again, it is early on, so plenty of time left for a lot of action. Side-by-side race again, beating and banging here under the lights at Richmond, Virginia.
Sorensen now going to the inside of the 48 of LaPlante. LaPlante hard on the brakes going down into turn 1. Car got a little loose or wobbly there. I don't know if it was necessarily a loose condition, Tommy. If you get on those brakes too hard, why does that upset the car so much?
Well, Joe, based on where the brake bias is set on these cars, if it's too far to the rear, that car can get pretty unstable during braking. The rear tires lock up and it's like the back end kicks out. You saw it with Dale Jr. at Sonoma many years ago when he was still racing, going into the hairpin, that turn 11 there, and it can happen anywhere if that brake bias is back, like I said, you know. So, yeah, you might see that if these guys get on it too hard, it could induce a spin, but right now LaPlante holding on, he started towards the back, he's still running P27 in that 48 car.
Tough start to the race for LaPlante, losing a couple of positions, but right now it's these top 3, Lingle, McGregor, and McLean out front here. 3, they're all Ford Motor Company vehicles, but we got a Fusion, a Mustang, and then I think that's a Lincoln there in 3rd.
Yeah, Joe, that would be a Lincoln, and that's impressive to see. Boy, you don't see quite a mix of cars like that, but the Ford Motor Company right now representing very well.
Well, then they got the 4th position locked up with the Voiles trucking machine of Ricky Johnson. Here, running in 4th.
Yeah, Ricky Johnson, he picked up a few places on that start right there, Joe. Got past that 22 car, Jason San Diego. San Diego right now, he's kind of settled down into 6th position. Lost 1 spot on the start, but doing a good job now holding steady.
Right now, you're feeling out the car, you're feeling out your competitors, and in a proper way, of course, Tommy, but you're trying to make sure that, you know, you don't show... I always talk about this week in, week out. I'm talking about not showing all your cards early on in a race, and, you know, if you're someone that has to start towards the back, or start a little further back in the field, you got to show some of your cards. Ricky Johnson, you talked about, he's made up a couple spots to start this race. I'm assuming he still has a couple tricks up his sleeve, because he normally does, as he moved into the 3rd position past McLean.
Yeah, certainly. That was an ace move right there to make that move stick down in the corner, and he's up to 3rd place, and no signs of slowing down for that 93 car right now, Joe. Looking nice there with those red rims.
Oh yeah, 93 is a special number to me, Tommy. You want to know why?
Why is that?
It's the best number. It's better than 57. It's better than 9. It's better than 88. It's just 93 is the best number in the world.
Well, that's a debatable topic. What's not debatable right now is up in the lead. Caleb Lingle doing a great job holding steady up there, but right behind him, hey, don't look now, but Jordan McGregor in that 30 car, he's kept it really close.
Yeah, haulers, some of these camera angles here at Richmond. Oh boy, Tommy, we gotta talk to our JTN crew, but Lingle though doing a great job. But don't look now, McLean back to the inside of Johnson. He moves back into that 3rd position.
A little bit of back and forth between the Voiles Trucking Ford and the Lincoln. So 2 Dearborn-born machines out there battling up in the top 4. It's early yet, though. I mean, positions at this point, they can impact the rest of your race, sure, but a position here and there might not be the worst thing in the world if you're saving tires, and perhaps that's what Ricky Johnson's doing here. Kind of waiting and seeing how this run goes. It's been very clean so far here at HOBO Racing. Have not had a yellow yet. It's been 15 laps complete now of green flag racing. So trending towards having a long green flag run, Joe.
Yeah, and that's what you like to see. You think that if we can get outside of these first 10 laps, right, Tommy, that these guys, they're going to have a really good shot at running green for a decent amount of time. We saw the 23 car at being Maverick in the 23. I don't know why I didn't know that off the top of my head. Made a pass on Herman Reese there in the 73. That's a Chevy passing a Cadillac. And then looking to pass a Pontiac. So say that 3 times fast. For Dale, of course. And, yeah, and then there's Tommy, there's a lot of manufacturers. What was I even talking about? I don't even remember oh, green flag runs. Green flag runs. I figured it out. As the tires start to wear, right, it slows the cars down. You got to think that's going to cause for a longer green flag run because the guys aren't going to be as fast, aren't going to be as aggressive on those old tires.
Yeah, and Richmond, a track where tires really do matter a lot, Joe, because you want to be able to make those moves, but the way these corners are tight, especially in 1 and 2, of course, the angles of the exit's a little bit different compared to when you're coming onto the front stretch. Yeah, definitely, Joe, tires are going to mean a lot. So if you can hold off now, you know, and just save them till the end of the run, if you go green all the way, it can certainly make a difference. Not only that, Joe, but also when you pit too.
Yeah, would you, if you're, say, I don't know, Maverick, Herman Reese here in that back half of the top 10, and you guys know you're usually fast. I don't know if they necessarily say they're fast at the short tracks. I don't know their driving too well here at Richmond or their history, but would you think that those guys would be some of the candidates to maybe short pit a little bit to try to gain an advantage on those newer tires?
It's possible. I mean, if you short pit, you know what that does for you. It gets your new tires on before anybody else. You can make up a lot of track time. But on the other hand, of course, Joe, if there's a yellow to come out while you're going down pit road, it might not give you the best opportunity to make your way back in the lead lap. Or if you have already come out of pit road, then you're a lap down because it's Richmond and it's a short track, you know, and you get a yellow, maybe you're trapped a lap down. So there are some downsides, certainly, but a short pitting idea, you know, if you do the same thing as the leader, you're not going to gain any ground. So if you try something different, well, at least you give it a shot.
KJ moving to the inside of Herman. We're already starting to lap cars there. You see they're going by LaPlante up in front. Looks like KJ, he's probably going to get back in the line here. But LaPlante just really struggling in the 48. He's struggling harder than Jimmy Johnson has the last couple of years, Tommy.
Yeah, LaPlante moving the wrong direction, as was Matt Stern. He got 4-car just getting lapped a couple corners ago. But up front, so far that 113 car of Caleb Lingle is making it look easy, really, Joe. I mean, that 30 car's been there on his rear bumper all night long, but he hasn't made a move yet.
I think the key word there, though, Tommy, is yet. At 30 car McGregor, he's shown that he can just stick right there on the 113, and it goes back to my point about not showing everything you have. You also got to think that McGregor in the 30, maybe he's saving those tires a little bit, Tommy. Maybe he's trying to make sure he has a little bit for the end of the run, make a pass maybe 10 laps before they come to pit road, get the track position that way, come to pit road with a clean entry to your pit box and to this tricky pit road through the, turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the worst idea, Joe. I mean, given how early it is, we just completed lap 25 of 140. Still green flag racing here at Hobo. Phenomenal racing here at Richmond. Keeping it really clean. We've had plenty of passes, but right now, guys, keeping it clean and green.
Clean and green, just the way you like it. We go through the field to kind of show you what's going on right now. Not a lot is going on, though. We got a lot of single file racing here. See the 31 car, the 56, 25, Simpson, 85 of Bumbleow. Steve Rubino there in the 21. I love that 21 car. It just looks, it looks so good, Tommy. You see the 14 car of Dion Hinsky. Sorensen in the 59, 78 of Johnson. 81 Little Caesars Ford, 44 of Dan, you know. You see the 66 of Carter, Randy Smith in the 10, 46 of Bob Gibson. Try to give everyone a little TV time, and then we get back to our leader, Lingle in the 113.
Well, something to note, Joe. While you're going through that field, Keith McLean made the move on McGregor for second, and now a bit of a gap has opened up for Caleb Lingle, but looks like McLean is coming, Joe.
McLean,
looks like he might have saved his stuff.
I think he's can just really attack these corners. He's going to go a lot deeper into the corner compared to Lingle, but Lingle gets a really good drive off the turn.
Yeah, you really saw that entry right there for McLean. He was driving in really deep, and now, does it again in turn 3, and it's getting really close now.
Trying to figure out a good camera angle, but McLean looks to the inside down the front straightaway. He's not going to have the positioning going into turn 1, but McLean in second has really turned up the heat on Lingle in the 113 out in the lead. And we have
a right in front of the leaders.
Oh my goodness. No. That's Steve Rubino and in the 21, Ryan Johnson in the 78, and that's going to be our first caution tonight, Tommy.
First caution, 30 laps through. Joe, we made it almost a quarter of the way through this race without a yellow, but our first one tonight, and it happens on the backstretch right in front of our leaders. Looks like everybody squeaked by all fine, but let's take a look on the JTN fetching replay cam and see what happened.
Yeah, here you're going to see it. Rubino goes into the corner, gets into the wall, continues to scrape it, pulls the car off the wall, comes back across the track, comes back across in front of Johnson in 78. Nowhere for Johnson to go. And just lucky that more guys didn't get involved because, oh my goodness, they're coming at a high rate of speed. Just swerving to avoid them, and it looks like Steve's has taking his car to the garage and they're out of this race.
That could have been really bad, Joe, where that was, especially coming out of the corner like that. Sometimes it's hard to see, especially when you're in that cockpit. I mean, yeah, you have your spotters, but boy, Joe, I mean, coming out of that corner, just hitting the gas again. Lucky that that wasn't worse. That's for sure.
Well, it almost looks like a choose code, Tommy. They're deciding to go left or right to avoid them there as they're making their way off the corner. There you see a lot of guys taking the right path, and they all get by in the end, but tough break for the 21 car of Rubino.
Good heads-up driving from everybody to avoid them. And Joe, like you said, yeah, the HOBO Racing League trying out a choose car here to avoid yellows. Interesting strategy. We'll see how it plays out. Hey, off of pit road, Caleb Lingle beats Keith McLean. He's going to retain the lead. With that 28 car, we saw some flashes of speed at the end of that run, and we'll have to see if he can maintain that here as we are going green in a few more laps after we pace.
Gotta think, though, you know, he lost. He saw what that 28 car McLean could do, so he's got to probably think about some adjustments, Tommy, maybe to make his car a little better on the longer run, or are those adjustments that he's going to have to make behind the seat of the car?
Well, it might be a mixture of both, Joe. You can do so many things, and like we've seen here, there's a lot of time left. And if we get more green flag runs, you know, that's going to give him more time to learn, to see what he can do right here. I think if you're the 113 car, there's no reason to panic, certainly. I mean, you did a good job on that run, leading every lap of the race up until just now. We had the 10 car, Randy Smith, stay out and lead a lap. I think for the 113 team, they just got to stay calm. It's all good in the hood. I mean, they're in the position they want to be in, up ahead of this field. But take a note. Maybe at the end of a run, look for that 28 car, even the 30, to be a factor.
I wrote the note down, Tommy. I wrote it down.
Thank you, Joe.
I listen to the teacher. I write notes. Working the pace laps here under our first yellow flag of the day for a tough lick for Steve Rubino, who's battling for a championship. As we've entered the chase here, or the playoffs. Everyone calls it something different, Tommy. The USORL, they called it the playoffs. NASCAR calls it the playoffs. Some people still call it the chase. We made a mess of a format for a championship, and I know you got an opinion about that.
I do, Joe. To say it's a mess is a little bit of an understatement as far as real-life NASCAR is concerned. I could go in, it's lap 35 of 140 right now. I'd finish up about lap 150 if I had to talk about what I think NASCAR should do.
Keep the story short. Tommy is definitely on the bandwagon, on the train or idea, thought process, the bus, for going back to a traditional full season points format. But I think these playoffs, I think that at least for these guys here at HOBO and a lot of other NR 2003 leagues, it's a really good invention that allows for this, you to still have a long season that goes from February all the way to November, but also, provide some interest for coming those last 3 months.
Yeah, definitely, Joe. When you consider how sim racing is not so much a job for most of us here, but something we do as a hobby from time to time. If you have to miss a race or two, having the playoffs definitely helps these sim racers keep in championship contention. So as far as sim racing is concerned, yeah, not bad, but boy, real life could use some help. But hey, we're about to go green, Joe.
We're about to go green, resetting them. Lingle, McLean, McGregor, your top three here for this restart. So happy you're joining us here on a Tuesday night on JTN. HOBO Racing League from Richmond. Caleb Lingle's going to lead him to the line just like he did on the initial start. He gets there, hits the gas, green flag's back out. We're racing once again at Richmond.
Yeah, single file restarts in the HOBO Racing League, so that makes my point null and void that I made earlier in the race about leaders choosing lanes. So that's something to watch for. That makes track position all that more important, and especially after that pit stop by the 113 car, they're in the place they want to be as far as that's concerned.
I think, Tommy, I don't think your point is null and void, because if you are the leader, you still get that lane choice. It's just your choice is the outside or the outside. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I mean, you can definitely go outside at this track, but you could also go on the outside, so that'll be interesting to watch. Hey, really close up front, that 28 car.
Look at this 28 Keith McLean go. He's to the inside going down into turn one of Caleb Lingle. Lingle gives up the spot, doesn't fight him too hard. He'll scoot back into second, but Keith McLean leading here under green.
I think that's a smart move by Lingle right there. He knows he's fast, and you know McLean was coming at the end of that last run. I think right now, though, looks like he's got pressure from that 30 car.
Yeah, Jordan
But I was going to
McGregor.
say, Joe, it's early on. I think right now he's just trying to settle in. Let McLean out front, see what he's got to do in the lead of this race, and perhaps wear his tires off. And the 113 can do a little bit of a switch maneuver here as far as positions are concerned at the end of this run.
And you got to think, too, those tires, they're going to be very important. I remember a race that we ran over in the Fast Racing League in their Cup Series, which you can check out the championship race that you were part of right here on JTN once you're done watching the live broadcast of this one. But I remember a Cup race. We ran it at New Jersey track, which is a fictional track. It's mile, high-banked oval. And Keith McLean could run the bottom the entire run. So if there's one guy that I don't think's worried about tire wear, it's the driver of this number 28.
Well, that's a great position to be if you're out in front now, gapping up to almost 0.6 of a second, and you don't have to worry about tires. Boy, Keith McLean has got it made in the shade right now. That 28 team, happy with what they're seeing. His lead just grows lap by lap, Joe. Right now it's up to, yeah, just about 0.6 exactly. Gained a few hundredths that time by.
A great job of advancing that lead, extending it, as the kids would say, but right now, a lot of single-file racing throughout the field. It looked like our first battle. Well, it's already over by the time we get back to it. This little spectator cam, you can see more of the track. Not as great of the cars, but gives you a good, for all our folks at home that didn't get to go to the racetrack this year that normally would, it kind of puts you back at the racetrack, doesn't it, Tommy?
It does, Joe, and it's nice to have everybody with us at JTN to enjoy some racing. While we may not be able to in real life, but we have another yellow, Joe.
Oh no. Who done it this time? Uh-oh. Already back going. It's gonna... Oh boy.
Yeah, I see some skid marks out of turn 2. Looks like that might have been where the incident was. No obvious signs from any cars yet, but we'll take a look.
Looks like it's Bob Gibson and Matt Stern. You see Gibson goes into the corner. I don't know if he made contact with Stern, but that sends his 46 car around right in front of a lot of guys. Jason San Diego nearly avoiding him, but that's going to bring out our second yellow of the night.
Yeah, not sure. It looks like that 4 car maybe just got high and out of the groove a little bit, Joe. Sometimes you can get some marbles up there that make traction limited. I should say that 46 car, as he was right by that 4 car. Good on everybody for avoiding another accident out of turn 2 again. Well, what can you say about that, Joe? Caution avoidance is critical if you're wanting to stay in this race, not getting your car damaged in an accident that you can avoid. And so far, everybody's done a great job.
You'll see it one more time from the helicopter cam. Yeah, he just got really close to the Forester, and I don't think he made contact, and it's just it's a product of that brake bias too, Tommy. He maybe got on the brakes a little harder than he normally would to avoid making contact, maybe went deeper into the corner, but tough break for Gibson in the 46.
I think you nailed it with the brake bias, Joe. I think that's exactly what it was. Going in deep to that corner, tried to get on the brakes a little bit harder so he wouldn't make contact, and then, as a result, locked up the rears and spun around. That brings out our second yellow of the night, Joe. We're working lap 47 here under yellow of 140, so already almost about a third of the way through the race. Things are chugging along pretty nicely, especially if you're that 28 car of Keith McLean.
Yeah, if you're the leader, you like to see caution laps, right? Because it gives you more laps as the leader. Right?
Well, I like green flag laps, Joe.
Yeah, but when you're the leader.
Depends when the caution is. Personally, if I was Keith McLean and I'm extending my lead by tenths of a second, and almost a second there by the end of when that yellow came out there, I want to see this thing go green for till the end of the race, because it looked like nobody really had anything for him at that point in the run, at least.
You want the limit for the function of this race running green to extend forever, to go to infinity. Math jargon. I
remember that, Joe, and I really appreciate that. You don't hear that too often in racing broadcasts, I must say.
You know,
Only on JTN.
only on JTN, where you get engineering, mechanical engineering, and I always forget, Tommy. You're gonna have to excuse me here.
Information systems.
Information systems major from 2 different states on 2 different coasts. Talking about some great racing here in the NR 2003 Sim. Make sure if you haven't already, you've hit that subscribe button. I assume a lot of you have because, well, you're just the greatest fans in the world, and we appreciate you so much here at JTN, the JoeTowNetwork. You can check out a couple of our sponsors before we go back green flag racing. Check out JoeTow Designs. Use code JTN2 for 10% off at checkout. Just uploaded a couple new designs there, Tommy. I know you really liked them, and I think they got the Tommy Bordeaux endorsement. You can also check out AutoSim, the new frontier in simulated racing. Check out autosim.weebly.com for more information where you can download the game for free. That is autosim.weebly.com. The link is in the description below. You can also check out their Discord server where you can find mods for the game that make it a lot more accurate. You and I both in AutoSim 7.0 that came out recently as part of the game once they got rid of a lot of the licensed stuff. But we reset here with kind of Keith McLean out front with Caleb Lingle, Jordan McGregor, Ricky Johnson, and Ray Dog rounding out your top 5 here. Coming back to green after our second yellow of the night for the 46 of Gibson going around for a spin in turn 1. So happy you're joining us. Keith McLean's going to lead him back to the green flag here to restart this race. Drops the lead on the gas pedal. Green flag, we're back racing at Richmond.
Joe, I want to mention one little thing that I saw when pacing right there. That 113 car, Caleb Lingle, clutching in on those pacing laps, trying to save a little bit of fuel. Now, a fuel run should be fine if they go green to the end. We still have 90 laps to go. It should split just fine, 45 and 45. Possibly the 113 car trying to do the overcut and stay out longer. We talked about the undercut earlier, but maybe just that 113 car thinking ahead a little bit more, trying to figure out how he's going to beat Keith McLean in that 28, who again, Joe, is out to the lead and doing a great job of it.
Go throughout the field, Tommy, and just a lot of single file racing right now. All the way back to our last driver on track. And I don't want to say you hate to see it, but from a... Are we under caution again? We are.
Yeah, we got a yellow, Joe.
Dad, oh! Oh, no. I think I just saw a car on its side. The 40 car.
Oh my, I can see the aftermath just now, looking down on the
Yikes.
track.
We're still not back at the track, but Tommy got his got a test today, so he could hop into the JTN studio. That'd be fun.
That's correct, Joe. Yeah, I got my COVID test this morning. Went all well.
Am I allowed to release that information? Is that it?
I think that's fine. Yeah.
All right. I said it, and then I was like, ooh. We'll get you a replay. Bristol fetching the replay here, and it looks like it's going to be another single car spin, this time for Rand in the 40.
That's unfortunate for Pennsylvania's own Gary Moran. It's a nice looking car, I must say.
All white platinum on the side of it, and you got a big boop, big bop from the 31 of Stekenis.
Yeah, a little bit of a frowny face on the back. I'm sure that's how he's feeling after that incident.
No, you can't do that to him. Get you another look at it here. A different camera angle, because we have good cameras at this end of the track. There you see, he just gets loose. 31 is to Kennis, nowhere to go.
My.
Big time contact.
Yeah, I had just looked at the monitor there, and that was actually a pretty violent impact, Joe.
Right in the door.
Holy moly.
The only thing that he had going for him is they're all going pretty slow.
Yeah, that is a thankful thing. And again, the accident avoidance, it didn't turn into a huge collection of cars. Again, Joe, an incident off of turn 2.
Is that
Only
just...
one other car in that.
Are we just... Is the thought process just the angle going into that corner, since it's, you know, kind of a... It's like, in theory, that's a good angle, right? It's you don't have to cut the wheel as much. It's not as sharp as the one going down into turn 3, but is that kind of maybe put the drivers at a little more ease, and then they cut that wheel a little bit more through the center where we're seeing them have all these troubles?
Well, here's something to consider with Richmond here. When you're braking for turn 1 there, I mean, you typically you want to make sure you're braking in as straight a line as possible, but with that curved front stretch when you're going into 1, some of these drivers, especially if they're up high, might be turning a little bit into that corner while they brake, and it could unsettle the car when they get back onto the gas. So, yeah, it could be a combination of things, but Boy, I hope that 40 car is going to be okay after that. That was actually a larger hit than I initially thought.
Well, like you said, he's frowning on the back, probably frowning under the helmet, but still a lot of time to make up those positions here at Richmond. And Tommy, you talk about braking, wanting to brake in a straight line. That's because, you know, when you braking in a straight line, right, you got maximum contact with the ground. You got maximum friction, that ability to stop, right?
That's right, Joe. And one thing you also don't want to do when you brake is lock up the tires because brakes definitely are their most effective when they still have rolling wheels around them. So yeah, definitely don't want to be locking up either. And I think turning sometimes can make that situation worse and make it easier to lock up. And like we mentioned with brake bias, if it's towards the rear, that's going to get things quite unstable. But speaking of unstable, it's been anything but that for the 28 car of Keith McLean, keeping the lead after he took it away a while ago from Caleb Lingle. So that 28 car going to restart up front again.
Doing a great job. Grabbed that lead under green flag conditions on our first green flag, or on our second green flag run, excuse me. And then he's kept it since after that restart we had with our second caution. Now working our third caution here at Richmond. Resetting, you got Keith McLean out front, 113 of Caleb Lingle in second. Jordan McGregor running third, rather. Sorry. Ricky Johnson in fourth. I'm getting the numbers wrong. Ray Dog in fifth. You got the 11 car of Steve Grant here in sixth. Seventh is Maverick. Eighth is Herman Reese. Ninth is Harry Kodian and Jason San Diego rounding out your top 10.
Yeah, Joe, you just mentioned Jason San Diego, one of those drivers who started in fifth in the top 5 but lost a position early. He's been sliding back a little bit, but just got himself back into the top 10 before that incident. So we'll have to see how that 22 car can continue here tonight. And if you're anybody but Keith McLean up front, or maybe Caleb Lingle in the 113, you haven't led yet. How are you going to get yourself to the front of this race?
Oh, if it's me, if you're putting me, oof, it ain't happening, Tommy. But I think he's just got to be patient here on this restart. He's got to be patient. Don't make moves that are going to disrupt the other drivers. That are going to disrupt your race. And speaking of that, something that's going to disrupt these drivers, or at least their calmness, green flags back out. We're racing again at Richmond.
Another good start from McLean right there, holding off the 113. We'll see how they get off of 2. McLean looks like he's been diving it deeper into the corner, while the 113 cars maybe backed up the entry a little bit, and right now that 28 car pulling away. That might be the way to do it for now. We'll see how these cars handle on older tires as we get through this run, providing we get to a deep point in this run.
Yeah, we saw it at the start of the race, and then we I think we jinxed it a little bit there, Tommy, but had those quick 2 yellows. Going to try to get back to the racing that we saw at the start. We're single file down the back straightaway here at Richmond.
And so far, Keith McLean again, Joe, pulling away. It's up to almost 0.5 of a second already, and we're just a few laps into this restart. That time by just a 10th off of his best lap so far, too. And yeah, a few hundredths ahead of the 113 car as far as lap time is concerned.
Something I'm watching here on the monitors, Tommy. I'm seeing these guys. I saw Jordan McGregor do it that last lap. He really waits to turn down to the center of the corner. Kind of like a really aggressive apex. Right through the center of 1 and 2. Is that gonna... I could be talking, completely random nonsense here, but that's gotta... What's the strategy there? Is it just to get a straight run off the corner?
Well, yeah, Joe. When you late apex the corner, the aim there is to get as long of a straight run as you have, or sorry, early as you can to straighten that car out on exit, preferably if it's a long straightaway, to get more of an acceleration compared to your competitors who maybe are taking a normal or an early apex. So that's definitely a strategy you can use here. And Richmond, as wide as the entry is to this track, I mean, you can take a lot of different lines, but ultimately it may not be the fastest. But speaking of fast lines right now, that 28 car, Keith McLean, doing a good job up there. Certainly using the fastest line for him and doing a great job for it.
Yeah, that Busch ice car looking beautiful out front. That Lincoln, I'm thinking that's probably a Continental, but I'm not too sure. Running out front, I don't think we saw a Cadillac win. Or no, did we see a Cadillac win? Yeah, we did see a Cadillac win in the modifieds before, and like we might be seeing a Lincoln win tonight if I'd have to make a pick right now.
It's possible, Joe. I mean, we've seen that fusion there of the 113. That's Caleb. Excuse me while I get back to hit my
Caleb Lingle.
Caleb Lingle, right. I mean, we've seen him be the only other leader under green flag conditions right now. So, like we mentioned, I mean, the Ford Motor Company doing a good job representing right now. I mean, they got the top 3 spots, Joe. Make that top 4 spots. Ricky Johnson in 4th.
And they've kind of pulled away from Ray Dog, who's running 5th in that 112 U.S. Army Chevy. There you see him running, and he's gotten a little bit away from the 11 Pontiac of Steve Grant, with Maverick close behind him. Herman Reese in that red and black Cadillac. Terry Codian in his Camaro, and then Jason San Diego in his Chevy SS, or as the kids overseas would say, Holden Commodore.
Yeah. Well, hey, Jason San Diego, good job for him holding on to that top 10 spot right now in that 22 car. And for San Diego and a couple of these guys in the top 10, that back half of the top 10 is all General Motors, Joe, and up front it's the Ford Motor Company with those top 4 spots.
Still clicking away these green flag laps. Ricky Johnson making a pass to the inside of McGregor going down into turn 1. They set that thing up through turns 3 and 4, completes the pass, and move Ricky Johnson and his Ford Fusion up to 3rd.
We've seen Ricky Johnson make that move for 3rd before, but give it up just a few laps later. We'll see if he can hold on to it right now. I mean, I tell you what, up front in the field, Keith McLean is leading this race by over a second, Joe.
That's crazy. Have you ever?
A couple of times, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, Joe, somebody's got to do something about this. I mean, if you're going to win this race, you're not just going to let him walk away with it right now. That 28 team, they've got it going right now, Joe. But you got to worry, maybe they're burning up their tires.
Like I said earlier, though, if there's one guy that tires don't matter, if getting rubber on the road, if he's probably got more of it on around those wheels, but Keith McLean does a great job setting up his car to really maximize the durability, maximize the length of the run for his set of Goodyears.
Well, one Busch Light car that we've seen do so well in the Cup Series this year in NASCAR is Kevin Harvick in the 4, and in the 28 for the Busch Ice Machine, another Ford, just like Harvick, is the 28 right now of Keith McLean, doing an incredible job leading this race. That time by actually lost a little bit of time to the 113. In fact, his lead now just shrank by a 10th that last lap, Joe, as we're just past halfway here in Virginia.
Don't look now, though, Tommy. Ricky Johnson in that 93 starting to hunt down Caleb Lingle for 2nd. That 93 car starting to come alive.
Yeah, Lingle's been holding on to that 2nd spot here all run long, pretty much since he surrendered the lead to McLean. Like we said, 93 car Ricky Johnson in 3rd once again. Let's see if he can make any more ground up.
Big
that time by lead
backstretch.
holding steady for McLean. Joe, for these 4 Fords in the lead of this race, quite a comfortable margin to 5th place. It seems like these guys are pretty much content. I wouldn't say content, but if they did finish where they would, it's a good points day. And you mentioned the chase here at HOBO Racing League. It's a good finish here if you can hang on to it, and certainly the way things shape up, you can't afford to have a bad race. But how does that change the strategy for them, knowing maybe you don't have winning speed, but at least a top 5 in the cards? Is that make any difference to the way you drive?
As we were watching Ricky Johnson taking advantage of that lapped car, kind of holding up the 113 and Lingle, and now McGregor going to go to the inside. Tough break for Caleb there. Yeah, Tommy, I'm a guy that's usually really happy with the top 5 finish, but if I got top 5 speed, I got to push. And the best way to push to try to get a win here is going to be do the exact opposite of what Keith McLean does up in the lead. If he pits early, I'm maybe going to stay out a little bit, hope for a caution, try to trap him a lap down, make him lose all his track position. If you're thinking he's going to pit late, maybe undercut him by a couple laps, gain those, lap or 2 on the fresh tires. We've seen that he's kind of fallen off a little bit here as the run's gone on, but I think that leads back to stabilizing a little bit. But you got to do the opposite of what Keith and the 28 team do.
Yeah, a bit of ebbs and flows as far as the lead is concerned. Sometimes gaining a tenth on the field is McLean, sometimes losing a tenth or two, but a little bit steady here at about 1.2 seconds here. But Joe, yeah, like you mentioned, we've had 3 cautions so far, so pit strategy definitely something to take note of, and no guarantees really whether or not you short pit or do the overcut on these guys and maybe time a yellow correctly. Either way, I mean, you really don't know right now. If you had a crystal ball, and I sure wish I had one, as I'm sure many people do, you could perfectly time that strategy to where you want it to be. But unfortunately, Joe, none of these drivers do. So it's going to be an interesting finish for us, at least viewing at home. But I'm sure there'll be some nerves up there on top of the pit box.
Oh, you always got to be. You're always nervous on top of the pit box, Tommy. I think you probably know a thing or two about that too with your real racing stuff that you do. But you're always nervous when maybe there's, if you're Keith McLean, you got a lot of things in your control. But those 2 or 3 things that are out of your control, they are taking up the entire space of your head. You're wondering about when these other guys are going to pit. Are they going to undercut you? Is there going to be a caution that kind of gets rid of your lead? And as I say that, we got a yellow on the speedway.
Well, our fourth caution of the night spoken into existence right there.
Oh, no.
We'll have to take a look to see what that was. I don't see
It's
anything
the 46
immediately.
car.
Oh, and he was involved in an earlier incident. That's Bob Gibson.
I think I called him Gibson earlier. I apologize for that mistake.
Well,
Look at that.
Joe, I gotta say something. This caution really makes things interesting because it's right on the edge of the fuel window, just barely.
Looks like the 46 just blows up there going down to turns 1 and 2, so that's going to bring out your yellow. So not an incident on the track, Tommy, but a lot of oil down around the top of the speedway.
Yeah, you certainly want to clean that up, and we've seen how treacherous the top can be tonight so far. A couple cars spinning out of turn 2, and the 46 car, of course, involved in an incident himself. Probably some residual damage causing that motor to let go in that Dodge Charger. So the Mopar boys may not be happy, but for a couple of these drivers, maybe that yellow was something they needed to see. Certainly, the driver going the wrong way was Caleb Hingle in that 113 car. Wanted to see that yellow for sure.
Well, we got the chance. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in again. I think we say it about 1,000 times per broadcast. We'll get you the line for the race off pit road. I see Barbara and MT Johnson. Continue to go down the list. Dan Rubino. Larry's saying hi to everybody, and we're just having a fun time tonight here at Richmond. As you see all the cars coming off pit road, you get a great shot of the driver's side. I don't know, did anyone flash a little wave to us there? I don't think so. Up there, Dan did. So, good job there. You gotta be aware of where those cameras are, Tommy, for all your sponsors.
Oh, that's right, Joe. Sponsors so important in stock car racing to keep that engine running and those cars on track, and we're thankful both for our sponsors we see on the racing surface and also here at JTN. Give us a few, Joe.
Oh, I love to give these fans at home a few. The best way to support JTN is to support our sponsors. Check out autosim.weebly.com. Autosim is a premier simulated NASCAR racing text-based game with numerous mods and a great community. You can check out autosim.weebly.com, link in the description to find out more. Download the game for free. Yes, Tommy, I said it for free today to get some more info about Autosim. Join the Discord, get some mods, and get it all souped up to your liking. It's so customizable. It's a really fun game. Check out JoeTow Designs for some great racing-related apparel. That's JoeTow Designs. Link in the description below. Use code JTN2 at checkout. Route 1 Auto Services, which is pretty sure I said that right, which is a big sponsor here for HOBO. Check out the JTN merch store. And Tommy, what do these guys got to do to find out more about TWB?
Well, Joe, that's right. For right now, you can go visit TommyBordeaux.com. That's TommyBordeaux.com. Tommy Bordeaux, Bordeaux like the wine. To check out more information on myself, the founder of TWB, we'll have a website coming later this fall. Should be pretty exciting. Look out for that. And Joe, speaking of exciting things coming up shortly, the pace car lights Hopefully they get off shortly and we'll be going green here. Because so far, we're quite a ways through this race, a bit past halfway now. And indeed, the lights do go off. And we've had a lot of green flag racing, 4 yellows for sure. But so far, Joe, a pretty clean here at Richmond. And perhaps a surprising thing to see on a short track like this.
On real quick, I want to make sure we take notice of it. Darren Ingram tuning in saying, Mom and Dad noticed me. I don't think we're his mother and his father, but we noticed you, Darren. Lots of love going to you, and congratulations on a great season at USORL this past year, and forward to getting back on track with Darren over with the guys at Fast.
Yeah, winning that finale at Homestead in a very convincing fashion, although a great battle at the end there, certainly.
All right, we reset them like this. Keith McLean, Ricky Johnson, Gordon McGregor, Caleb Lingle, and Ray Dog, your top 5, as it's kind of been those guys all night. Keith McLean's going to take him into the restart zone. He'll see the green flag. It's the gas. We're going to get there to really fast here at the end of this race. Green flag back out here, working lap 88.
Well, for the first time tonight, Joe, Ricky Johnson has restarted in second place. He's had to make his way through a few cars on restarts before, but now with that track position, we'll have to see if he has anything for Keith McLean. It's been the Keith McLean show the majority of this race, so perhaps Ricky Johnson can spoil the party and take the spotlight here at Richmond.
That 28 car, though, super fast, bad fast all night long here at Richmond. It's not a bad car, but it's looking good out here. Gordon McGregor trying to close in on Ricky Johnson for second, but right now Keith McLean extending his lead.
Yeah, things status quo for that 28 car so far. Pretty much a typical restart for him, like we've seen all night long. Not too much pressure coming early in the run, but like we've mentioned all night long, we'll see how these tires develop as we continue green flag racing here. Coming up on 50 laps to go, Joe.
And don't look now, Ray Dog in this 112, he's starting to close in on Caleb Lingle in the 113. Making up some ground, staying a little closer with these top 4 guys than he has throughout the race. And AJ in that 029 car really starting to turn up the heat. Here's the cautions out once again.
Well, right before we had that yellow, I was going to mention a 113 car who started on the pole for us tonight, moving the wrong direction. This caution definitely throws something interesting in the works, Joe. Not many laps were run on those tires. Do people stay out to try and gain track position? We'll see after this replay here. Fetching replay on JTN.
Looks like Stakenis in the 31 maybe thought he could duck behind the 10. Maybe didn't know how much room was left, but he's going to take out that 10 car of Randy Smith there going down the front straight. That's a tough look there.
Just watching it on the monitor now, and indeed, right along the front stretch, a new area for us to have an incident tonight. Certainly nowhere is where you want to wreck on any of these racetracks, and a track like Richmond, I gotta say, for how tight it is, the drivers have been doing a really good job avoiding these incidents, so credit to these HOBO Racing drivers. Doing a good job of that indeed.
I think this TV2 looks going to give you the best view of it. 31, you got a little loose coming off the corner, just shook the car a little bit, makes contact with the left rear quarter panel, and that brings out a caution, but it doesn't look like too much damage on either machine.
Well, speaking of damage on machines, we had 30 cars take the green flag to this race. A lot of entries here tonight at Richmond in the HOBO Racing League, and we see a lot of drivers here at HOBO week to week, Joe. It's really impressive to see. Also, so like I mentioned, Joe, 30 cars took the green flag, 27 now run. We've had 3 retirements. Early on, it was the 21 car of Steve Rubino, retired from an early incident. Moran in the 40 just retired after a pretty hard impact to the outside wall in turn 2. And the 46 of Bob Gibson, who blew an engine and unfortunately is retired from this event. So 27 cars still running after a big field, but they've all been chasing the 28 car of Keith McLean of recent, Joe.
Yeah, Keith McLean, once he got that lead, he's had a stranglehold of it. Thought maybe Ricky Johnson would be able to make a charge at the lead here towards the end of this race. We'll still yet to see if he can do so. We didn't really get a good look at it here, but be interesting to see, Tommy, if Ricky can maybe make a move. We got different players at the front. Caleb Lingle was running in second most of the race after qualifying on pole, but Keith McLean he's grabbed that lead, and he hasn't looked back since he's done so.
No, he certainly has it. Well, it's pretty easy too when your mirror doesn't have anything in it. And he's been driving away from these guys by a couple tenths per lap off of these restarts, and then kept a pretty consistent lead since then. Pace car lights stay on this time around. No cars a lap down, so no wave arounds this time. Like I mentioned, Joe, 27 cars, and they're all still on the lead lap. Impressive.
Very impressive, Tommy. And make sure, if you haven't already, and you'd like to find out more, check out the HOBO Racing League in the link in the description below to find out more about how to sign up, get in on this great racing action. Some great guys here. They do a great job of kind of making sure that they feel comfortable with each other. They do a lot of great racing, and you're going to see more of that in the coming weeks. We got HOBO Racing's Modified Series next Thursday night, and then the Sunday after that, we'll have the Truck Series at Las Vegas, I believe, and Thompson next week for the mods, and it's going to be a fun one, Tommy. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, we've seen mods at Thompson before, and we saw a Cadillac win that race. It's a Lincoln up front here. So, parity of manufacturers in HOBO, no shortage of that, that's for sure.
Ian writes in that tonight is not their night for their Eno clan, and yeah, Steve, tough break at the start of the race, bringing out our first caution. Just got way out in the loose stuff. There's nothing you can do at that point, and then Dan just having a tough night behind the wheel of that 44, has been mired back in the pack. We'll try to get a look in on him, and it's not too far. Sorry, Dan. There you are, running second from the back. But you got to think, Tommy, that these guys, they're going to be able to make some moves towards the front.
Well, if they want to get to the front, they're going to have to step on it, because we are slowly going into the final stages of this race as the pace car dips off onto pit road, and it's going to be Keith McLean once again out in front, takes the green flag. Away we go, off here again at Richmond. It's the 28 that's just been putting on a clinic thus far.
A great job running out front, but we've seen some pretty good racing throughout the field. McGregor all over the back bumper of Ricky Johnson down the back straightaway. He now looks to the inside.
That 30 car looking for second place. Looks like Ricky Johnson sliding up the racetrack a little bit. We'll have to see off the corner that Highline does have momentum on the straightaway.
He tucks back in line, so Ricky Johnson maintains that second position, but Jordan McGregor really gave him a scare there for a second.
Yeah, and I think he's got to do that. I mean, if anybody wants to catch the 28 car, they've got to put themselves into second beforehand. You're not going to win from third place, I don't think, in the race tonight, although we've seen that in real NASCAR of recent. Brandon Jones picking up the win at Darlington in that fashion. But right now, I mean, Keith McLean doesn't have that challenger in Denny Hamlin or a Ross Chastain behind him.
No, he does not. He's doing a great job running out front here. Right now, Maverick making a pass on the 11 car of Steve Grant. Now, Herman Reese looking to the inside. There's Harry Cody and right behind him. Those red and black cars kind of confused him there for a second. But these Ford performance vehicles out front have done a great job all night of staying out front. These four have been our top four throughout the race. Granted, they've done a little bit of shuffling, Tommy, but looking really strong here at Richmond.
Well, I had just spoken about the Xfinity Series finish featuring Brandon Jones winning at Darlington, but speaking of the Xfinity Series, we've seen the two Fords. Oh, we had a yellow out, Joe. I was going to say we've seen the two Fords dominate there, and definitely these four Fords at the front dominating here tonight. Our fifth or sixth yellow here, Joe. I think it's our sixth out on the track.
Tony Donahue in the number 81 looks like he was involved. We'll get you a replay in his Ford Mustang. Looks like he got loose, was going to come down right in front of Weston in the 56. Thought better of it, cranked the wheel back to the right, overcorrected for it, and causes the yellow here. Looks like someone else, though, up ahead might have... Look at that.
A little bit of action on pit road, Joe. The 30 car of McGregor, he pit while the two leaders stayed out.
Hey, Tommy, that's that strategy. You got to do something that they're not doing.
I gotta say, if I'm in McGregor's position, you saw him trying to get second place away from Johnson, unable to. You got to try something if you want to win this race. Right now, doing the same thing as McLean, I don't think it's going to be it. So worth a shot there for that 30 team.
I think the one thing that's going to hurt, though, a lot of guys staying out here, Tommy. I like the move to do something different. I don't know if that's the thing different I'd want to do. You just lose all the track position. We've seen it's hard to pass. Really, the only guy I've seen throughout the field pass is the 029 car of KJ.
Yeah, not only that, but Ricky Johnson, but of course Johnson fast enough to be in second. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of work to do for McGregor, certainly, but don't put it past him. I think, Joe, if things go right, maybe he'll find his way back up front, but for right now, going to have a lot of work to do.
A lot of work to do here at Richmond as the sun has gone down, and you know when the sun goes down, the sparks start heat track up a little bit, but track really cool. I don't know what I'm saying, Tommy. I'm just trying to get words out of my mouth right now, trying to hope that you can make some sense of them. We reset you like this, it looks like. Keith McLean out front, Ricky Johnson in second, Ray Dog in the 112 running third, Maverick in that John Deere 23 running fourth, and Herman Reese running out your top five. Jason San Diego sixth, Jeff Footgate running in seventh, the 33 Machine, that being Mark DeSenza running in, oh man, I lost count again, eighth. 35 car of Wiley King running in ninth, and then the 25 car of Ron Simpson. Ron Simpson out of Ohio running in 10th. I said a bad word for someone from Michigan, Tommy.
Yeah, I share that same sentiment. Apologies to Rod from Ohio and anyone from Ohio, really. Not for what I said, but because you have to be from Ohio.
We got him. We got him good here.
As Michigan in my heritage, Joe, I have to agree with your side on that one.
Hey, we got the Upper Peninsula, and that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
Having a great time here at Richmond. Some great green flag racing throughout the night. Working, lap 105, 106, that range or something, Tommy. I know my monitors, for some reason, don't like to put the correct lap counter up with pace car lights going off, so we'll go back green flag racing next time.
Well, as you were going through the field there, Joe, mentioning that top 10, shout out to my man San Diego there in sixth position, that 22 car. I'm telling you, he was hanging out just outside of the top 10 in that last run. He's kind of been around that 10th, 11th spot all night long after qualifying fifth. I'm telling you what, I'm feeling the San Diego fever. Don't count him out. I think that 22 car's got a shot at this thing, Joe.
Can he hit one of those four-run walk-offs like Tatis out there in San Diego?
Well, Slam Diego, he doesn't want to into the wall for sure, but perhaps into the lead, something different. But certainly in the lead right now, Keith McLean keeping his first spot, not giving it to anybody else as we come into the restart zone.
Green flag's back out. We're racing once again here at Richmond. I stole that one from you.
Oh, thank you. That's fine. I'll take it. I was reading the chat a little bit there. My lovely brother, the California Poppy, out there saying Upper Peninsula for the win. I agree.
What?
It's beautiful up there. Oh, yeah.
Excuse me.
It's nice.
Lower Peninsula is where it's at. Nah, he's right. Upper Peninsula is pretty cool. But we're in Richmond.
Pretty cool. We are at Richmond in Virginia. Nowhere near Michigan, certainly, or even especially the Upper Peninsula. But speaking of cool things, Busch Ice. Boy, that's a cold car up there. And a cold ice veins there for Keith McLean. He's had a little bit of pressure tonight at some points on the restarts, but it's not seeming to phase him at all. Doing a good job holding the lead. Ricky Johnson keeping it as close as he can, but it's the 28 car. Nobody seems to be able to challenge him yet.
Now that Lincoln horsepower doing a great job as they work down the back straightaway. Single file throughout the field, Tommy. A lot of fun right now. It's we backed up from the mic a little bit, but apologize for that. But having a lot of fun here at Richmond. Single file. Keith McLean out front. Ricky Johnson really his only challenger, but with that being said, Ricky Johnson hasn't been able to close that gap, Tommy.
Yeah, that 93 car sliding back a couple tenths that last time by. It just seems like that 28 car's got an extra gear in it, doesn't Joe? And sometimes it's so frustrating as a car in second. I mean, what is he doing? What has he got in that car that I just can't seem to replicate?
Looking through the field, here's Caleb Lingle in the 113, our pole sitter with a lot of speed throughout the night, trying to make his way back up through. KJ in that 029 also trying to move up. There you see Caleb making a move to the inside of the 14 of Dion Hinsky down the back straightaway. And Jordan McGregor, I don't know where he went, Tommy.
Yeah, McGregor did pit that last time by, but it doesn't seem like he's been able to make up much of any spots so far. In fact, he's a lap down.
Oh, no. Try to get you a pit report down there from Bristol, but Lingle in this 113 and KJ in the 029, really the only guys making passes throughout the field. We'll go back towards the front, and it's still Keith McLean out there holding on to his lead.
Yeah, Keith McLean showing no signs of slowing down, but hey, Jason San Diego update, he's up to 5th.
You like
right
his
where
name.
he started.
There you see San Diego in that 22 machine. Herman Reese right behind him. And up in front, Maverick looking the inside of Ray Dog for that third position. He takes it.
Yeah, he does take it pretty convincingly, too. That green number 23 machine. A couple cars with 3s at the end of their number in the top 10. The 33, 73, 23, and 93. It's a night for 3s, Joe. And boy, I'll tell you what, speaking of Dale and 3, what more can you say about Dale Earnhardt? Almost a Dale Earnhardt drive from the 28 car, Keith McLean. He's made his way to the front, and I'm intimidated from the booth, Joe. I mean, it seems like there's nothing you can do to stop him.
We're intimidated all the way from the JTN studios back in Michigan. Here, it's shaking in your boots, though, Tommy. That's some strong words coming from a tough guy like you.
Yeah, I'm as tough as they come, but right now, Keith McLean putting the...
Tommy? Sounds like we lost some radio communication with Tommy Bordeaux. We'll try to get his headset fixed. But Keith McLean doing a great job running out front here. Ricky Johnson in second. We'll go through the field here. Here you see Maverick in the 23 running third. 112 of Ray Dog in fourth. Herman Reese looking to the inside of Jason San Diego for fifth. Now San Diego retains that position. There you see Herman Reese in the 73. Fugate in the number 9 car. That Dodge, red and yellow, looking great. 33 of Descenza and the Skull Bandit running in 8th. 9th is the 95 car of Wiley King. 10th is Rod Weston in the 56. And don't look now, Caleb Dingle on the back bumper, all over the back bumper of the 56 of Rod Weston, looking to crack his way back into the top 10.
Well, Joe, I was going to say, before those technical difficulties, we're almost 20 laps to go here, and perhaps that's a good thing. I mean, not just for us, but maybe for the drivers as well. A little bit of mercy shown by that checkered flag, because right now it's over a second lead again for Keith McLean.
Yeah, McLean just doing a great job dominating this race. KJ moves up in front of Weston, so put that 029 into the 11th position, if I counted correctly, which is saying a lot. I'm an engineer, not a person that does a lot of arithmetic, but look throughout, really, Tommy, we've seen a lot of cautions, but they're coming from the back half of the field tonight.
Yeah, they have been. Not too much up front. Some that's happened in front of our leaders. Our first yellow at a turn 2. A couple leaders had to avoid it then. But yeah, since then, Joe, clean up front it sure has been. And take a look, speaking of up front, that 22 car, Jason San Diego, tracking down the 112 of Ray Dog. Perhaps Mr. San Diego could hold on to 4th place if he can get by that 112 car.
He's got to get back. He's got to get by that 112 car, and if he needs to make sure he makes the right move, because there to pounce on if he makes a mistake, it's Herman Reese in that 73 Cadillac.
And Reese so fast at a lot of these short tracks especially, and so that 73 car going to want that top 5 finish, I'm sure, but again, he's got to get through some cars to do it. And speaking of getting through cars, the 113, Caleb's up tonight.
Dingle doing a great job. Oh, car squirrely down the backstretch. Looks like that was the 95 machine. And KJ moving up into 10th position.
Oh, we got a yellow.
Oh boy.
A late race yellow. I think it involves the 10. Perhaps the 59 of Sorensen. Looks like his rear frowning a little bit. So we'll have to take a fetching replay here at
Oh boy.
JTN and see what happened.
You're going to see him coming through turn 2 here. 59. 31 just runs into the back of the 59 car. Looks like the 59 might have checked up a little bit. He clips the 10. 10 car of Randy Smith gets into the wall. So a bunch of guys involved in this Rex, DeKennis, Grant, and Simpson. Or Sorensen, rather, in the 59.
Yeah, well, like you mentioned, Joe, these incidents happening towards the back of the pack is another one. These guys certainly weren't up front at the time of the yellow, but for the leaders, especially Keith McLean, maybe not what you wanted to see, because now strategy comes into play, but McLean stays out.
Oh, you got to stay out, Tommy. It's too late in the race to come down and get fresh tires.
Well, we'll have to see, Joe. I mean, it does bunch up the field a little bit there for Lingle, at least, who was making his way up into the top 10. Yeah, I think, Joe, at this point, I mean, with how many cars did stay out, I mean, is there any stopping Keith McLean?
Lingle's going to have to make quick work of these guys on this restart. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it with the single file restarts, Tommy. It's going to be interesting to see. I think he can probably get up into that top 5, though. He's running 9th right now when that yellow came out. And depending on maybe if the incident happens in front of him, if we get a quick incident that fits that criteria, can see that 112 car maybe make a move, maybe get in a position to where he could challenge for a lead on a late restart, on a later restart. But thinking this might be the Keith McLean show if Ricky Johnson doesn't have anything left up his sleeve.
Yeah, it seems like for the first couple laps of a restart, McLean just he walks away a little bit there, and then things hold steady at about a second lead for that 28 machine. So if Ricky Johnson wants a shot at this, I think he's got to do it as soon as he can, because if you let Keith McLean just walk away like that, he's gonna hold that lead and hold on to it strongly.
Gotta think stuff is gonna get crazy here at the end. So happy you're joining us here on JTN, whether that be live or watching one of our race replays. You can check out every race we've ever done as part of JTN. There's, I don't know, say we're getting up there, right? We're getting up there on the Rose races all the way back from I believe it started at the beginning of May. You can see, watch all those races. You can definitely see the improvement in quality, improvement of the microphone talent, and by that I mean me talking a little bit less than what I used to, but it isn't a lot, Tommy, because I still talk a heck of a ton, but
Well, it's our job is to talk,
our
Joe.
job.
It's all right.
It's our job.
And
But,
yeah, you do sound great with a new Michael.
A new Michael. Shout out to
Hey,
Mikey
shout out to
Murata.
Michael Murata right there. The microphone. But Joe, you sound great. The investments you've put back into JTN to make these broadcasts better with the computer, with the microphone, it's great.
It's great to be here at JTN. So happy you're joining us. Make sure if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit like on the video. We appreciate all those. We got new subscribers every day. It seems like we're on the road to 250. I said we were on the road to 200 about a month ago. So let's get that up to 250 as soon as possible. Make sure if you haven't already, you share it with your friends. If you want to check out more JTN, make sure you look, like I said, hit that subscribe button, look through all our videos, playlists, all that jazz. And if you have an NR 2003 league and you want to broadcast, the best way to do so is right with us here at JTN. Go to the link in the description below to our Facebook page. The best way to get in contact with us is through there in our inbox. And you can contact us for more about pricing and available dates for broadcast.
Yeah, a number of satisfied leagues that we've had the privilege to broadcast their events for. What are you waiting for? Sign up right now. We'll see you after the race. We'll get in contact with you. And, yeah, hey, this could be you on the big screen here.
You on the big screen on everyone's streaming devices right here on youtube.com/the JoeTowNetwork. We reset them like this. It's going to be Keith McLean, Ricky Johnson, Maverick in the 23, Ray Dog, and Jason San Diego rounding out your top 5 with Herman Reese in 6th, Fugate in 7th, the 33 of Descenza, the 112 of Lingle, and the 029 of KJ rounding out your top 10, Tommy. It's going to be interesting. Pace car makes the hard left turn down pit road. Keith McLean leads him into the restart zone. He'll see the green flag in just a moment. Green flag's back out. We're racing once again at Richmond.
Oh, and a great start for Keith McLean, and a great start, too, for our TWB 10 to go coming this fall from the same people that brought you Kurt Cohen Furniture Ryan, a new company to help your business expand into new markets. That's TWB. Go online to TommyBordeaux.com for more information on myself, the founder of TWB, Tommy Bordeaux. And look out this November for the launch of TWB. TWB, let's do this together. Speaking of let's do this together, Joe, we've been broadcasting a race here tonight that's seen Keith McLean dominate. And a great start there has put him just a few tenths ahead of Ricky Johnson. As we get another yellow, we got an incident in turn 2.
Oh no, car up into the outside retaining wall. That looks like it's the 4 of Matt Stern. Tough break for the Grizzly crew. Here, we'll get you a replay.
Yeah, and something to note about these yellows within 10 to go. It's race back to the line on the caution flag, so we'll have to see.
Like the 14 just ran over Stern going into the corner. Maybe didn't know what his braking point was going to be. Ran over has a bad connotation. I apologize, but...
Well, possibly, Joe, late in this run here on worn tires, less grip out there. Maybe your same braking marker isn't what it used to be.
I ain't as good as I once was, but I'm good once as I ever was, Tommy.
Sure, we'll go with that one. Speaking of being good, Keith McLean has been good tonight. And as we wind down to have a very late race restart here soon, yeah, it's going to take a monster restart from Ricky Johnson if he's going to get anywhere near that 28 car.
I have a feeling he's not going to be able to, Tommy. Keith has just been lights out tonight. That 28 car has been on rails, and oh, Tommy, it's been a fun night, but we got a bunch of more content coming for the fans at home.
Yeah, certainly, and that's what you want to see. You want to see good racing out here, and certainly it's been, I would say, for this many cars here, Joe, it's been astonishingly clean. We've had a few cautions. We, of course, had one right there, but I mean, we sort of with 30 cars, to have as much green flag racing as we have had is quite impressive, I must say. I mean, remember back when NASCAR was off and we did the iRacing series there, you saw professional drivers struggle to get through laps. No, they couldn't do it, and hey, these guys here at HOBO doing a better job of that, that's for sure.
Did they race Richmond? Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did. That was one of the last ones, I think. Maybe was the last one.
Yeah, I think that was the last one before North Wilkesboro.
That's right, yeah.
But, yeah.
William Byron, I believe, getting the victory there.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a rough time. But out of that came JTN, and you're getting this great HOBO Racing League action, which you can check out the HOBO Racing website at the link in the description below to find out more about HOBO Racing, how you can sign up, what nights they currently run, Wednesday nights with the Cups, or Tuesday nights rather, with their Cup Series, Thursday nights Modifieds, and then Sunday nights the Truck Series. So a lot of great racing action. We'll be bringing you the Modifieds next Thursday night from Thompson, and then the following Sunday we'll be bringing you the Truck Series from Las Vegas, I believe. So it'll be a lot of fun doing that, Tommy, and some other content coming up here on JTN. Thursday night, I'm thinking we might have a live perspective iRacing event for an iRacing league that you run.
Yeah, Joe, that'll be a lot of fun to get some eyeballs on the TWB Racing League on iRacing. Coming out there, racing Indy cars from your home state of Michigan. Should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to see the replay of that. Of course, I'll be racing in that event myself, so all eyes on the track for me, but certainly will be enjoyable to watch the replay at least. And for you, you're subscribed to the JoeTowNetwork, look out for that on Thursday. Should be a lot of fun. We'll have a good field there.
And we're going to have some other great projects coming up for you, but right now in this moment, it's going to be Keith McLean. He's going to have to hold off the field for what's looking like green-white checkered most likely. It's actually no, pace car lights are off, or was that correct? Oh, it's going to be
pace car lights are off.
It'll be 3 laps to go here. So Keith McLean, he's got to do it 3 more laps. He's got to hold off this 93, hold off the 23, to try to make sure that he can seal this win. We've seen a lot of caution laps tonight, Tommy, and what would be your concern with the way, he's got old tires on right now, so what are the concerns there behind the wheel of 28?
doing too much. I think if you overcook it into a corner and have to back out of the gas a lot to regain your momentum, it's going to be a difficult task to do because you know that any little slip up that 28 car does, that 93 Ricky Johnson, he'll be there to snatch that opportunity to win this race. So if you're Keith McLean, got to be mistake free here. Heading into the restart zone, we're going to go green with just a few laps to go.
Yeah, cars roll through the restart zone, hit the gas, Keith McLean, great restart. We're back racing here at Richmond, 3 laps remaining.
I mentioned what Ricky Johnson needed was going to be a good restart. A good restart that was not. Keith McLean way out in front, and it's his to lose at this point, Joe. It's like Ricky Johnson there in second. Boy, not the restart he wanted.
All the cars going down the back straightaway. 2 laps to go this time. Ricky Johnson trying to close that gap a little bit, but right now it's Keith McLean out front going down in turns 1 and 2.
McLean in that 28 has led this race since he got the lead. Oh, we have a yellow.
Let's race back to the line here. It's going to be coming off of turn number 4. He'll see the white and yellow flag together. Keith McLean will win it here at Richmond. He's still got to go one more lap, Tommy, but great night for the 28 machine.
I don't want a Mark Martin situation. They still got to cross that start and finish line one more time to officially take the win. But for Keith McLean, after taking the lead away from Caleb Lingle, our pole sitter, pretty early on in this race, he never looked back. He held the lead for the whole rest of this event here in Richmond, Virginia, led a lot of laps en route to this victory tonight, and deservingly so. He really outpaced the whole field, and wow, what a show put on by Keith McLean. He really took people to school. It's been back in school this week for me. I know you a couple weeks ago. So colleges all around the country going back to school as well as these drivers here at HOBO. Keith McLean crosses the line there and wins at Richmond.
What a fantastic run by that 28 team. They win it here at Richmond. We'll get you a replay of that last lap incident. Tommy, it's going to be an incident coming off of turn 4, so the other end of the track where we didn't see as much trouble. Simpson comes down on Sorensen, and that sends 3 Hendrick-looking cars into the outside retaining wall.
Yeah, Joe, just not enough track for all those cars, and unfortunately an incident there at the very end for them. Almost made it through this race to take the checkered under green, but burning it down is Keith McLean. Boy, and he deserves to a dominant performance by that 28 crew here in Richmond.
Yeah, just an absolute wrecking of the field in terms of he destroyed him, Tommy. He just so much faster than second place Ricky Johnson today.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you speak about being fast. As far as our fastest laps goes, give it to Ricky Johnson right there at 20.599, the fastest here in the race tonight. Of course, no surprise, Keith McLean second, just a couple thousandths of a second behind him. But certainly one lap speed does not matter as much as race speed, and certainly that 28 car Keith McLean had it tonight, and after a great final restart for him, smooth sailing for that Busch Ice Ford Mustang.
As we move into our post-race coverage here at JTN, we're going to try to interview our top 3 finishers tonight, Tommy, and I believe you got the power to do so. Why don't you bring in some of those guys? One of those guys. You take your pick.
That's right, Joe. Well, we'll have 2 of them. Ricky Johnson won't be able to have an interview. However, see if we can get our 3rd place finisher up here, Joe, in a few moments.
User was moved to your channel.
Into the
And there he is tonight, 3rd place, the 029 car. Gilly Jewel, a great finish for you tonight at Richmond. It looks like Keith McLean had the field on lock. Was there anything you could have done to possibly get up there and fight for the win?
Hey, Tommy,
Yes, Joe.
actually our 9th place finisher this evening.
I'm seeing. Oh, that was fastest lap.
Silly boy. Anyways,
you're right,
KJ,
sorry.
9th place finish tonight. Top 10. Not the run that you wanted, I'm sure, because you had a really stout Chevy. I believe it was a Corvette. Any comments on the race?
Yeah, I'll take a ninth, man. I've had a rough back half of the season. I've had connection issues, wrecks, everything. I had a bad finish last week. So I'll take a ninth. I got nothing to complain about. I wasn't the best car. I was probably top 5, but I'll take a ninth.
Well, KJ, good to have you here. Anyway, sorry for the mix-up there. You did have the third fastest lap, so you certainly did have top 5 speed. So congratulations, certainly on that. Even though you didn't get the finish you wanted, is there anyone you want to thank while you're up here?
Oh yeah, I want to thank you guys in the booth for putting the race on. I didn't watch it this week because I've been having connection issues. So I didn't want to take a chance of falling out, but I appreciate you guys putting the race on broadcast wise. Also want to thank the Rubinos and the admins at Hobo for putting on the series and the race. It's a good series. I mean, y'all seen tonight a lot of green flag racing, especially to start the race with. Also want to give a shout out to my teammate Keith winning the race and Ricky finishing second.
And KJ, congratulations on top 10. Good run tonight, and good luck next week at Bristol.
Thank you. It's the first time I've been interviewed for a 9th place, but I'll take it.
You gotta take them, man. You gotta take it when you go. You know, it's KJ driver the number 029 Corvette.
User was moved to your channel.
And Tommy, I made a
mistake
channel with our TeamSpeak audio. We're getting some of those beautiful user has moved from your channel, but bringing in our 3rd place finisher, Mr. Maverick driver the number 23 John Deere Chevy. Congratulations on that podium finish, Mav. I think you probably wanted a little bit more, but nonetheless, 3rd place got to feel good.
Oh yeah, I was very happy with 3rd. I probably didn't have quite that good a car as some of those guys that pitted, but the pit strategy, got me up there. So I'll take it.
Yeah, Maverick, we just talked to the 9th place finisher, KJ. You qualified 9th, so you had to make your way up through quite a few cars to get up to that top 3. Take us through that final restart there. Did you think maybe you had anything up there for that 28 car Keith McLean?
No, he was hooked up all night. And the only thing I thought was maybe if he slipped up and Ricky might have got under him or something, and maybe they would have touched or whatever, I could have, passed him if they'd have wrecked or something. But just waiting for something like that. But no, they were both on rails on that.
Yeah, well, Maverick, you have a beautiful John Deere car out there and a great finish for the team, certainly. Is there anyone else you want to thank here tonight here on JTN?
Oh, yeah. I'd like to thank my Savior Jesus Christ and my wife and my 2 kids and for letting me do this, and Steve and Bino and all the rest of the admins for putting on a great show and for the sponsors of this. And I guess that's about it.
Congratulations on the podium finish. Good luck next week at Bristol, Maverick.
Thanks, guys.
User was moved out of your channel.
Oh, Tommy, they're gonna hear that, and they're gonna hear that user thing is Maverick. Great finish for him. Got that podium, but we're gonna move on to, or I believe he actually did he leave? No, he's in there, Tommy. We're gonna bring in our 2nd place finisher, Ricky Johnson. We're doing this in reverse order tonight. I noticed.
Right, yeah, we are. We're not actually going to have Ricky Johnson. Does he have a mic? I believe he does.
Yes.
Let's bring him in here, Joe.
User
We'll bring
was
him into
moved
the
to your
channel. Ricky Johnson, driver the number 93 Voiles Trucking Ford Fusion. Mr. Johnson, did you have anything for Keith out there? It didn't look like it. He was so fast.
No, yeah, it was kind of tight early. Then I made an adjustment on it to make it looser. After the first run or two, and it was too loose on the first lap. Little ill prepared. I basically just took my game track setup, put it in, and did what I could with it as quickly as possible. Only had like an hour with it, so did the best I could. Keith just had a better build. He was able to roll through the corner better than I did, but we just did the best we could to get a solid finish and brought it home.
Yeah, Rick, you mentioned a solid finish. 2nd place in a field of 30 at Richmond is no small feat. Certainly a great points day for you and that 93 team. Take us through that last restart. It didn't look like you got the start you wanted on that one. What happened behind the wheel?
I don't really know. It looked like Keith kind of went, and I just didn't get the start that he did. And I wasn't able to pull him back down.
Before we let you go, Ricky, congratulations on the second place finish. I know you wanted one better. I know you always want to win, but before we let you go, you're in the opportunity to thank all those beautiful sponsors on that number 93 Ford.
Yeah, thank you to Voiles Trucking, Brian and Kathy Voiles. They've been phenomenal. They've been with me the whole time, all the way. Got to thank them for supporting me and letting me drive their car. Thank you to my teammates at PPR2 and Bomb Squad Racing. They're a phenomenal group of folks. Definitely recommend them. And shout out to Jessica as well out there. You know what I'm talking about.
Congratulations on the second place finish. Good luck next week at Bristol. It's another short track for you folks.
Yep, it should be fun. Hope to see you guys again.
Ricky Johnson, driver, the number 93 Voiles Trucking Ford Fusion. Tommy,
User was moved out of
he had a
your
great
channel.
run tonight, but we got one more guy that had an even better run tonight. Bring him in, our winner, Keith McLean.
User was moved to your channel.
Yeah, there was certainly no matching the pace of Keith McLean tonight, leading the most laps by a mile. The 28 car of Keith McLean, your winner. Welcome to the booth, Keith.
Hey, Tommy, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm sure you are as well. That Busch Ice Ford was fast all night long. Take us through that race for you. It was a dominant one.
Yeah, I put the Lincoln in victory lane. I hadn't run this car but a few times, but car was really fast all night. I was a little tight early because I tightened it up in case, you know how these races go sometimes. So, but it was really good. I loosened it back up after the first pit stop and just had to hold them off.
You talk about, tightening it up before the race started and then loosening it up during that pit stop. Was that adjustment to back to what you really wanted in the car and not necessarily adjusting it for what you thought the race was going to be? You adjusted it back, made it a little looser. That was the difference to getting you a fast hot rod out there, wasn't it?
Yes, I started a little conservative. I put it back to the way I've been running in practice, and then once I got out front, I could run my line, so it was really good. Car was good. Had my teammate behind me there, Ricky, run second. He did a good job. KJ, he had troubles all night, but I think he ended up with a top 10 too. So not bad for PPR2 tonight.
Yeah, definitely a good finish for the team there. And well, a win's always good. Back at the shop, everybody going to celebrate that one, I'm sure. While you're up here in the booth after your dominating performance here out of Richmond, anybody you'd like to thank?
I'd just like to thank the Rubinos, all the admins in the league. Like to thank y'all for coming out and putting this on for us. My girl Pam, KJ's girl Jess, and everybody that watched. I hope y'all enjoyed it.
Well, we definitely enjoyed it up here in the booth, Keith. Even though you maybe you stunk up the show a little bit, but you made it fun throughout those restarts, watching you absolutely dominate and pull away from those guys. Congratulations on the win. Take a little weight off your shoulders next week at Bristol with the playoff or the chase or whatever you guys want to call it. And good luck at Bristol and good luck moving on to that next round.
Appreciate it, Joe.
Thanks, Keith. And that was Keith McLean, driver, the number 28 Busch Ice. Keith,
User left your channel.
You're still up here.
User was moved out of your
Oh,
channel.
no.
Joined your channel.
Oh, no.
User joined your channel.
I moved myself into there.
We're going everywhere.
Yeah, Joe, like you mentioned, definitely a great finish there for Keith McLean. A dominating performance, and like you heard, two other teammates there in the top 10. So a strong night for him for sure.
Yeah, it was a great night all night. We had some great green flag racing action throughout the night, Tommy. And what can you really say about the race?
Well, Joe, we saw early on Caleb Lingle after winning the pole. I mean, he was up there. He led the first 37 laps, but once Keith McLean got the lead, he did not relinquish it, leading 102 laps en route to a dominating victory here tonight. I think what you saw tonight was definitely track position be a big factor. Once Caleb Lingle pit late in the race, he never really recovered to where he was running up in the top 5. Ended up 7th there, in our pole sitter in the 113. So once Keith McLean was out front, got that good track position, he held on to it, and certainly nobody was going to match him tonight.
And I think someone's got a really good PR person. I see Harry Codian making his way up into the booth. Hey, Harry, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I just wanted to speak with you after the broadcast for a second, Joe.
Oh, you got it. But before we do that, you finished 12th tonight. What anything you guys could have done better to maybe get back up into that top 10? You were running top 10 all night long and just fell off there at the end.
Yeah, with 35 to go, I think I was running 10th. I screwed up in qualifying and started way back. So I was lucky to be up there, you know. Then with 35 to go, I saw 4 or 5 of the front runners jump in. So, and, you know, some fast cars. So I jumped in with them. And man, it turned out there was only 5 of us. So we started pretty far back and got back to 12th, not quite where I was running, but I'm happy with that again. I put myself in a hole and came out decent with some points.
Harry, before we let you go, any sponsors you want to shout out, thank before we let you go here?
Well, yeah, obviously Steve and Dan, Hobo League is just a great league and so much fun. Really good guys. And of course, you guys for doing the broadcast. Really enjoyed watching, you know, the last one, and probably watch this one maybe later tonight.
We love doing them for you guys. Congratulations on the 12th place finish. You finished in the top half. That's always something to celebrate, even if it's not the most celebratable thing. Good luck next week at Bristol. And Tommy, we had a great race tonight. A lot of green flag racing action, but really in the end of the day, Keith McLean, this was his show, and we were just all participating in it.
Yes, certainly. Although I want to mention one participant was Jason San Diego. Hey, started 5th, finished 5th, Joe. Held on to that top 5. Good for him, that 22 team.
Yeah, he did a great job. And Tommy, before we let all our fans go, I want to make sure to remind you, check out all of our different links, our Facebook. Give us a like over there. Make sure you hit like, subscribe on this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you spread love, peace, happiness with all your heart to all those you cross. Stay safe out there. It's a crazy world, and we will see you for sure, next Thursday night from the Thompson Speedway for some Hobo Racing modified action. Until then, I'm Joe Twansky for Bristol the Dog, for Tommy Bordeaux. Thank you so much for tuning in to JTN. We will see you guys next time.